right, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us for lesson 3. And our topic is Come to Jesus. Our memory verse is, and Jesus said come, from Matthew 14:29. Our winning word today is rescue. So let's go ahead and open in our offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more and more and more and more and more. Rescue. And so we're going to go ahead and read our Bible story. It is from Matthew 14:22. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was terrified, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me!" Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him. "Truly you are the Son of God." So Jesus was walking on water, and he called, "Come," to Peter. All the other disciples were so scared, but Peter gave it his best effort. So now I'm going to let you guys go in and watch the video that tells you a little bit about this Bible story and the person we are looking at for sports.
Champions in Life comic book, Story 3, Extra. And here they come, riding on Holy Spirit-powered bicycles through the sky. I love riding on my bike through the sky. I think of all the flying songs. Kendi, you're so extra. It is extra miraculous, on wings like eagles, like walking on the water. Jesus and Peter walked on the water. I remember that story. The disciples were in a boat going to the other side. A storm came up. Jesus had been praying on a mountain, but came to them walking on the water. Kind of scary. Peter wanted to walk on the water too. Jesus said, "Come on." Peter was doing all right until he took his eyes off Jesus and began to look at the storm. But when he started to sink, Jesus grabbed him. Saved. Looks like we're going to my digs. Glad I brought my ice skates. Here we are at Fort DuPont. An ice arena. Talk about walking on water. I learned to ice skate here. You're good too. DC ICE means Inner City Excellence. There's help for school subjects too. Mommy Biney got her start here. Whose mommy is she? Mommy Biney was born in Ghana in 2000, but raised in Northern Virginia. She began to skate when she was 6 years old and she loved it. She trained at DC ICE. She is a speed skater and is very fast. In 2017, she qualified for the 2018 Winter Olympics. She did not win, but she's going to keep trying. Can you imagine going 30 miles an hour all by yourself without a motorcycle or a car, and you're not an animal? At DC ICE, kids can learn speed skating, figure skating, and synchronized skating. These girls are so extra. Their costumes are fierce. There are programs in LA, Chicago, and New York City. Mabel Fairbanks, 1915 to 2001. Once there was a girl who wanted to skate so badly that she spent $1.50 for skates that were too large and stuffed them with paper. She became a figure skater, but was not allowed to compete because she was black. When she grew up, she skated in other countries. Then she became a coach and helped others to become champions. She is in the U.S. Figure Skating Hall of Fame, inducted in 1977 in the coach category. Also, the International Women's Sports Hall of Fame in 2001. I'll bet she said coach things like, flawless, beautiful, I couldn't have done it better. 2 thumbs up. You've got the hang of it. You're a star. I like figure skating. Not too many boys doing that. I have to lift the girls up in the air, and I get the girls all to myself. There's a benefit in everything. Come on, guys. Let's roll. Up, up and away. Girl, you are so extra.
All right, so now that we have listened to our Bible story, Jesus walks on water, let's talk about the metaphysical interpretation and how it applies to our life. The mountain is where we get our ideas from God, where we are aware of the life unfolding like a flower. Going up on the mountain means becoming spiritually aware, knowing that we are more than just the body that's hungry for food and water. We are beings that come from and connect with God. Water is all the thoughts we think about being on earth, the thoughts of all people collected together. The boat is anything that keeps us from sinking into thoughts that feel bad, anything that holds us where we feel happy, calm, safe, and ready for the spiritual journey. Peter means faith. In Greek, his name meant the rock. Summary. The summary of this whole story is that we are going out on the water, which means going across all the thoughts people think. When we have a boat, we float above the thoughts. So Jesus goes on the mountain to connect with God and connect with the higher self. This allows him to walk on the water without sinking. When we take action from our faith, we don't sink into our thoughts that are heavy. We don't let ourselves dwell on those bad thoughts and fall into them. Instead, we stay above the noise And when we become troubled and start to sink, we can always reach out a hand, and we will always be helped by a combination of love and wisdom, which is Jesus, the I am. So Peter displayed unity principle number 5 because he took action. Even though the other disciples were too afraid, Peter did the best that he could. So remember that our unity principle number 5 is about putting into action our other principles and knowing that we can trust and have faith in God and do things that let our light shine. And so one of the 12 powers that this really represents is faith. And so we know that when we believe with confidence, our faith allows us to do great things, and it allows us to overcome those negative thoughts. And so now we can go into our activity where we're going to make boats that can remind us about keeping our head above those thoughts and staying in our happy place. And so the pre-K kids, you guys have some paper that you can fold and straws to make your boat. And our elementary friends, you guys have, and middle school friends I should say too, you guys have some paper that has already got these things printed on them and the instructions to cut it and put it together with the brads and the straw.
These are the materials for the folded paper boat. The 8.5 by 11 color paper for the bottom of the boat, triangle cut for the sail of the boat, double stick tape, duct tape to secure the sail and straw to the boat, and a straw. First step, well, I am folding the bottom portion of the boat. Fold an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in half. Increase. Second step, find the center of the fold, taking one corner and folding half into a triangle. Fold the second side down into a triangle. Next step, folding the bottom rectangle up to crease at the bottom of the triangles. And fold the rectangle up to match the first side. Open to form a triangle, tucking the rectangles, increase. On the open side of your diamond, fold the tip to meet the top and form a triangle, increase. Flip the shape and repeat. Open the shape and fold into a square. The top two sides, pinch at the top and pull straight out. Creasing at the bottom of the shape. This will create the bottom of the boat. To create the sail, Cut a triangle, creasing in the middle. The shape is 5.5 inches on the top or on the side and bottom portion. Use double-sided tape to secure a straw. Use a rectangle piece of duct tape to secure the sail to the boat. And this is the folded paper boat.
All right, so I'm so glad that you joined me today. Let's go ahead and close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and we are grateful. Now go be a light in the world.